All right, we are here at the Indiana Homestead Conference. It's nice and early. It's a chilly morning here in Indiana, but here in a few minutes we'll be going to do our speech. Good morning and welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach, and today we have a lot to talk about, primarily around why we sucked the past like 6 to 8 months. But before we get into that, because now we're starting to come out of it, we're realizing a lot of things and how to do a lot better in certain areas. I want to talk to you all about it because I know you face this stuff as well, and to give you a little encouragement in that area. One of those things that we have sucked about is keeping this store open. Since Mom's been gone, we haven't been able to have an employee that's been here on a daily basis. We can't commit to staying open all the time, so that's been a struggle. And it's something that y'all know that was a dream of ours to have, and to have a farm stand store that was open all the time, that we could provide our goods to locals and to people that are traveling in here. Well, instead of just throwing in the towel saying, hey, nobody's gonna work, it's gonna just fall, we're making changes. Besides not having someone to sit right there and check people out, our other issue is this has been quite the warehouse for us. So as most of you all know, a lot of you all have purchased, and we very much appreciate that. Our biggest business is online sales. So that turned this store quite a bit into a warehouse. Bubble wrap, envelopes, wrapping, all the different stuff that we do for shipping things out was kind of cluttered all up in here. It was a mess. It looked awful. And so we had to get creative and figure out a way to make this thing functional, but also pretty for a store to where people could come in and actually enjoy it. So here's some of the changes that we've done. The first thing we did was we removed our canned items from our shelves. We liked having them in here. They were pretty, but they weren't really what people were looking for. And so we're like, that is taking up some shelving that we could use for other things. We also moved our seasonings into shaker bottles. So that allowed them to be stacked very easy. It also was able for us to put the price down. And we really like how this looks. It functions, you can see them clearly, and you know what you're looking at and what you're getting. This next one's so simple, I can't believe we didn't think of it before, but big shout out to my buddy Kurt, because he's like, why don't you get some pegboards and put your tees up on it? I was like, well, that's genius. Duh. So that allows us to get, because we had a little stand that we would put some tees out on so people could view and see, but most of them were just packed in bags. You know, they were packed in bags and just put wherever we could find them. This allows us to put our entire inventory up on the wall, so it's easy for people to see and it's easy for us to grab when it comes to shipping time. Are you wanting in? Come on. So pegboard number 1, and then swing over here, pegboard number 2. So we do still have some seasonings that are in our 4-ounce bags. They are available online, but this is getting them off out of bags and up on the wall and out of the way, easy to grab. We also have some hats. Those are not available online just yet, but we also needed a place to be able to hang them and show them. And so that worked out really well there. Doing just those simple things. Look, the entire floor is completely clear. There is nothing in the middle besides the dog. Daisy, Daisy, quit. And then of course, these, nothing changed with the tinctures. We still have these here. We're trying to maybe figure out a better way to show them. But right now this works. We're able to get our entire inventory on them. And we like that. Down here is where we got a bunch that are brewing, calendula, comfrey salve, and then all the tinctures here in gallon jars. So that was step 1. Let's figure out how we can make this more functional, more organized, working better for us for shipping, working better for people to come in and shop. So that solved that problem, but it didn't solve our problem of staying open. So this store is called Jenny's Farm Stand. So you might have some farm stands in your area, and what those normally are little stands like right on the road that you can come up. They're usually self-serve on the honor system, and then you just get what you want that's available. You put the money in the lockbox, or you do it via PayPal, and then you go on about your way, not requiring an employee. So we had this thought like, let's turn our farm stand into a farm stand. And so if there's times that we're not available or we can't have it, we can do the honor system. So we are going to be, well, we've already started. We've cleaned it up. There's no products out here now. We just did that yesterday. But we've cleaned up this whole side of the porch. That's going to be an honor system farm stand. And I love this idea. Obviously, if we're here, we're going to be open and you can come on in and shop. However, this allows, especially for our local folks or people that are stopping by, you can still come get some of the products that we have. We'll have them out here. There'll be a lockbox. You can put them right in there. And it's just going to be so nice to be able to provide for our customers, even if we're not here, because that solves our employee problem. And this is part of what I was talking about, not throwing in the towel. You know, we can sit here and complain all we want about nobody wanting to work, or we can figure out a way to solve that problem without having to hire somebody. And this helps that. You know, we'll have the ring that are set up, and you will have a suggestion, comments, different stuff like that, booklet that you can write in. And I'm just really excited for it. Jen's really excited for it. We think it's going to be really nice to have this here, and just allowing people to come by. So it has definitely been a battle, but I'm excited for the future. I'm excited what we're looking at. I'm excited for the way things are going with the store, and what we're able to provide. Remember, if you want anything, all of our stuff's online. You do not have to come to our physical store. If you spend $50 more, you get completely free shipping. We're pretty well in stock right now too, so make sure to go check it out at thestivershomestead.com. I will also add, y'all know it's never too soon to start doing your Christmas shopping. A lot of the stuff we have are great Christmas items. You know, they're homemade, they're teas, there's tinctures, there's salves, stuff like that. And when Christmas time comes, we get hit really hard. So, you know, it's time to go ahead and start getting some of those things before they're out of stock and we can't keep up, kind of thing. And our colors are really peaking. We are at the peak for sure down here in the Appalachian Mountains. Starting to lose like walnuts. You know, we ain't got any leaves probably on them anymore. But it is beautiful and we're gonna enjoy it while we got it. So, as you know, I quit my job February of this year. So it's been, what, 8 months, about 8 months since I quit my job and started working on the farm completely full time. At that time, my mom was here and she still wasn't employed for us. That was helping us out. And then shortly after that, she moved. So in about a month and a half, we had 2 major life changes that went down for us. And it was a lot. It was a lot to adjust with. It's almost like you have an identity crisis and you're trying to figure out who you are again. And what I mean by that is, I know I'm young, I'm 34, but for so many years of my life, it's been wake up, go to work, get done with work, get some more work done at home, go to bed, right? And then look for the weekends to live. And that in its own self has been something really hard for me to adjust to. It's being like, you know what, we are working on the weekends a lot. We go to Homestead events. We do a lot of different stuff on the weekends. We have Airbnb guests. And like taking a day off on like Monday or Tuesday and heading down to Gatlinburg or something for the weekend, because that's our town, that's our close town, was something that it seems like you'd be like, man, I'd love to do that. But we're so trained and brainwashed into saying, hey, that's a work week day, you gotta be working. You can't be taking off on that day. So small things like that we're kind of bottling up, right? Trying to figure out who I am, what does our new life look like? How do we make it function? What's that routine, I guess, is what we were searching for. And really, it took 8 months for us to realize our life isn't a routine anymore. And as great as that is, it's hard for our minds to realize it. And then just getting adjusted to how do we make this work without getting so overwhelmed. So like, for example, you know, it's February, I quit my job. We have to make money on this farm. We're starting to get the gardens planted. We're starting seeds. We're doing all this stuff. And we get into the garden season. It's like a blink of an eye, and here we were gardening. And then as great as our garden was, I know we could have done a lot more. You know, as you all noticed, there wasn't a whole lot of canning videos this year. We did preserve, we, you know, froze a lot. We freeze dried a lot. But it wasn't like that urge to be like, yeah, let's get in there and do this, because it always seemed like, you know, we needed to do something else. Like we needed to make sure that we succeed, and it has to make money. Like it's got to make money so we can keep doing this. And then having that pressure to do that every single day, kind of like crippled us, right? It crippled us down a little bit, and it made a lot of things fall on the back burner when they should have been the utmost importance. It was kind of like, whatever, you know, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do that. And I don't know what specifically we would call that, but we were in that for a little while. And it took us a little while to snap out of it. Now, I don't want it to seem like we were just doing nothing. We were doing a lot of stuff, but it was primarily in the store. You know, we were bottling tinctures, we were making salves, we were doing all that stuff, bagging teas, labeling, that kind of stuff that you're like, man, I want to be doing more. Like, I want to be doing more farm stuff. And you think once you quit, you have so much time. Like, there's so much time in a day. I can go and tell you right now, there is just not enough time in the day for anything, no matter if this is the only thing that you're doing. I can promise you that doesn't get any better. But that's what it was like. There wasn't enough time in the day to get everything done. So then things started falling off the hinges. And I don't want to really say fall off the hinges, but things weren't a top priority. One of those being videos, right? We did cut back to one long video a week, because that's a lot when you're doing the editing and everything. And then doing shorts and reels throughout the week for the remaining days. And that was something that did free up a little time. You know, not having to shoot and edit and post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week. That cleared up Mondays and Fridays a little bit more, because reels don't take as long to do. And that was something that helped us out. And it was things that helped us out when it wasn't throwing in the white towel. We were just adjusting, and we kept adjusting for 8 months until we figured out what worked for us. And I know that a lot of marriages, a lot of people are going through the same thing. It's like, we're having these life changes. This is the life that we're wanting to live, but things kind of keep getting thrown up. And then some things have to fall on the wayside just to keep functioning well. What I'm here to tell you is keep going at it, because it will click, you will figure it out, and eventually the wheels will start moving forward rather than just sitting still, because that's kind of what it felt like for 8 months. It was like, we're doing it, things are happening, we're paying our bills, but it feels like we're just kind of sitting still. Where's that future look? Where's those goals that the Stivers always have planned? Where's that next thing that we're always doing, right? Where's our do one more thing? I'm happy to say I feel like we are finally there, and there's some major changes from the winter that we're getting ready to go through that'll pull us into spring for quite the 2024. So it's been since early this spring that we had our last event on this farm. There's spider webs everywhere. It's October, man. And Spideys are really trying to get them eggs laid. No, lay a nest absolutely everywhere. Anyways, it's been since earlier this year that we had our last event that we hosted on this farm. Now, one of the things that we always love doing is teaching people. And this is all, you know, a lot of this came from going to HOA 2 weekends ago, and then the Indiana Homestead this past weekend. It inspires us. It builds us full of joy. It gets us energized again to be around so many like-minded folks that have the same goals or looking to get the same goals. And so when we come home, that's when we really look at our own lives, saying, you know, we're up here giving speeches, we're talking to people. Let's look at ourselves and make sure that we're doing what we're preaching. And that is what our future is going to hold. So we told y'all all of this back here where the cattle was is now open. And so that gives us a big space for parking and for things to happen here. So we have wrote down a bunch of different ideas of different events that we want to start hosting starting in the spring of next year. And that is stuff that's going to be moving forward. That is stuff that is going to happen. So stay tuned for that. I think, don't hold me to this because we were just spitballing just now. But like the first one will probably be some form of a seed swap / plant swap in the spring as we get into gardening season. But other things, we have it, I mean, a slew of stuff. So from seed swaps to pressure canning stuff again, canning classes, tincture salve classes, all the way down to like dinner dates in the garden. We have a lot of ideas that we want to do, a lot of things that we want to get going. And this is me and you helping us hold accountable that this will happen. This is our goals. This is our moving forward, our do one more thing on our farm instead of just getting by. So if you can't kind of see the whole mood of our moving forward, is having our farm more open and being able to have more people here to help from when it comes from locals, when it comes to maybe you traveling, to doing more teachings, because we really, really enjoy that. We absolutely love helping people. We absolutely love having conversations with people and building relationships with like-minded folks. It's so big to build a community when it's such an isolating lifestyle that we live. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it is. I mean, we have got to continue to build community, people that we can talk to that understand us, because a lot of people don't get what we're doing. So y'all, we're excited. Look forward to more intentional videos. Better us, hopefully a little reflection of who we used to be, a little happier, a little more smiley, a little bit more excited about the future, because there's a future to get excited about. So y'all, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. We love y'all. Until the next one.